Hi, Paula. Good evening. We're gonna start with today's classes. Okay, we were watching a video, right? We finished with the introduction of an essay, right? Now we're gonna continue with the second part, right? We're gonna talk about the body paragraph, and it's not that difficult. Okay, so let's watch this video, and then we're going to see part by part. Okay. First of all, we're gonna watch this video, and then I'm gonna show you some examples.
For how to write an essay step by step. Now let's talk about how to write body paragraph and top sentence, followed by detail sentences, finally the conclusion sentence. After our introduction paragraph, we have 3 body paragraphs. Each body paragraph begins with a topic sentence. The topic sentence tells one reason from the thesis statement. After the topic sentence, you have detail sentences that explain your topic sentence with facts, reasons, or examples. And the last sentence in your body paragraph is called the conclusion sentence. This sentence reminds us of the topic sentence of that paragraph. As you write your body paragraphs, keep in mind that your main goal is to prove that the thesis statement main idea is true or correct. This goal is very, very helpful to you because it helps you decide or know what to write in your body paragraphs. Let's look at some examples. So here we have the thesis statement we've already written with reasons 1, 2, and 3. Let's focus on reason 1. It is easy. Do you see where it is easy is repeated after the introduction paragraph? Walking is easy is repeated in the topic sentence of body paragraph 1. And what about reason 2, that the best type of exercise is walking because it's convenient? Do you see where reason 2 is repeated in the essay after the introduction paragraph? Reason 2, the topic sentence of body paragraph 2, walking is convenient. And reason 3 is repeated as the topic sentence of body paragraph 3. Walking is often done outside. Then we have our conclusion paragraph, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. So let's look more closely at body paragraph 1. So body paragraph 1 begins with a topic sentence that tells reason 1 from the thesis statement. Walking is easy. Then we have detail sentences that do 2 things. They explain the topic sentence of this paragraph, which is the same as reason 1, walking is easy. And they use reason 1 to prove that the thesis statement and the idea, the best type of exercise is walking, is true. When exercise is too difficult, people stop doing it. However, when exercise is simple, people often enjoy it and continue to do it. Also, easy activities cause fewer injuries and less pain than strenuous activities. So you see how these detailed sentences all explain that walking is easy and also why that makes walking the best type of exercise and better than more difficult types of exercises. So they prove that our thesis statement main idea is true. The last sentence in body paragraph 1 is the conclusion sentence, and this sentence reminds us of the topic sentence of the paragraph. Walking is great exercise because it is simple and pleasant to do. Do you see how this sentence is a little similar to the topic sentence, walking is easy? But remember, in an essay, you can never write the same sentence exactly the same 2 times. You have to change the words a little bit. So now, let's look more closely at body paragraph 2. Body paragraph 2 begins with a topic sentence that tells reason number 2 from the thesis statement. Walking is convenient. After this, the detailed sentences explain the topic sentence, which is also reason 2, walking is convenient, and they use reason 2 to prove that the thesis statement main idea is true, that the best type of exercise is walking. A person can walk anywhere, in the city, country, or mountains. Many other forms of exercise require special equipment or locations. For example, swimming requires a pool. Lifting weights requires barbells and benches. So do you see how these detailed sentences explain our topic sentence that walking is convenient? And they also use this reason to prove that the thesis statement of the idea is true, that the best type of exercise is walking, since walking is more convenient than other types of exercises like lifting weights and swimming. The last sentence in body paragraph 2 is our conclusion sentence. This sentence reminds us of the topic sentence of this paragraph. Walking can be done anytime and anywhere without special preparation. Do you see how the meaning of this sentence is a little similar to the meaning of the topic sentence, walking is convenient? Remember, we don't want to repeat any sentences in our essay exactly the same. We want each sentence to be a little different. Now let's look more closely at body paragraph number 3. Like the other body paragraphs, body paragraph 3 begins with the topic sentence. This topic sentence tells reason 3 from the thesis statement. Walking is often done outside. Then we have the detail sentences. They do 2 things. They explain the topic sentence, which is also reason 3, that walking is often done outside. And they use reason number 3 to prove that the thesis statement main idea is true, that the best type of exercise is walking rather than other types of exercises. During exercise, the body produces chemicals called endorphins and serotonin, which calm stress and make people feel happy. Scientists found that people who spend time outdoors in nature feel happier than people who do not. Do you see how these detailed sentences explain our topic sentence that walking is often done outside, and telling why both exercise and being outside are important? They also prove that our thesis statement main idea is true by using that reason. Walking is the best type of exercise because it's done outside, unlike many other exercises. The last sentence in body paragraph 3 is a conclusion sentence. This sentence reminds us of the topic sentence. Walking outside helps mental and physical health. Do you see how that sentence is similar to walking is often done outside? Again, we don't want to repeat the topic sentence exactly. We want a conclusion sentence that reminds us of it. We have finished with part 2 on body paragraphs, and next is part 3, how to write the conclusion paragraph of an essay.
Okay, so, all right, give me a second. Now we're gonna continue. As you've seen, it's not difficult, but it's a little bit minutious, also minutious work that we have to do, right? So I'm going to share my screen. Give me a second, please. Okay, I'm looking for it. So please give me a second. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. It is loading. I'm on PowerPoint right now, but it is loading. Oh no, it's not this one. Okay, I guess it's this other one. Okay, I don't like sometimes how to. Okay, yes, I guess it's this one. All right. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and there you have it. Okay, so something that it's important to know is we have to plan the assignment, right? What do I mean with this? Some students, they think that we need to each oh, what happened? Okay. All right, I'm sharing my screen. We have to plan the assignment. Some students think that it's okay if I'm gonna do the essay in just 1 minute. It's incorrect, right? It's incorrect because it takes time. It takes time. Okay, so we have to take our time in order to have a good in order to have a good essay. Okay, so for that reason we have to do it in here. And okay, yes, the requirements is the length, wording, referencing. We have to understand the question. We have some breakdown numbers. We're gonna look for it then. Something that we have to see is that we have the example of topic, right? For example, examining the general categories of stressors that can be experienced by an individual. Okay, now we're gonna continue. Analyze it now. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, this is where I wanted to be. Okay, we're going to. Okay, give me a second. Where is it? Could you please give me a second? One of my students sent me. Okay. We're gonna start with the main point, right? It could be the paragraph number 1. Okay. It's view of the street. No, it's not the homework. This is not ours. Okay, yes, this one, right? We have to understand what is a paragraph, right? It's a group of sentences, right? We could have in this group one idea, right? And we have to follow a paragraph structure, right? It's not like, okay, I'm gonna write about my dog and I'm gonna continue writing and I don't know if it's okay or no, what kind of order do we have to use in order to have an understood paragraph for everyone. So the students require more recreational time in order to better focus on lessons in class. In fact, studies have shown that the students who enjoy a recess more than 45 minutes consistently score better on tests immediately following the recess period. Clinical analysis further suggests that physical exercises really improve the ability to focus on academic materials. Longer periods of recess are clearly required to allow the students the best possible chances of success in their studies. Clearly, physical exercise is just one of the necessary ingredients for improving the student scores on a standardized test. Standardized, okay? We have to develop your argument. If you're gonna say something, you have to explain the reason of it, okay? So you could have source material. The other day, I told you that you have the option to look for it on Google Academic. So then you're gonna find essential information about what you're gonna talk about. Then you could use comparing contrast. For example, you should or you are able to compare two parts of something, okay? Or you could give the contrast. But okay, I agree with social medias, but I disagree. For example, we have to show awareness of complexities, or we have to show line of reasoning, link points, central getting a line, and your conclusion is based on the evidence. For example, you're gonna choose, that's something that we could do, right? This is a chart. So In this case, we could have the introduction, right? Just here, the main themes. What is the main sentence, right? This main sentence, if we're gonna write a paragraph, most writing is made of smaller units called paragraphs, right? That's something we've seen. Identified by usual representation and by context. The first line of a paragraph, especially if handwritten, is indented, begun a few spaces to the right, the margin. We're going to use it to indicate the beginning of the paragraph. Okay, so then a paragraph can also be identified by its contents, right? A group of related sentences that support the writer's main idea. Okay, for example, if I'm going to say automobiles are expensive and offer inconvenient necessities in modern life. So then you have the first part of your paragraph, right? We have to start with a topic sentence, okay? Where is it? Where is it? What happened? Oh my goodness. Give me a second, please. Oh my God. And now I'm gonna share with you another one. Okay, yes, you're gonna understand better. This is okay. I'm gonna share my screen with you. Okay. All right. We've already seen this part. Okay, we're gonna continue.
An introductory paragraph is the first paragraph in a paragraph.
Okay. Okay.
Look at the introductory paragraph below. Notice that the first sentences in the paragraph are general statements about metropolitan cities that help to catch the attention of the reader.
Okay. In this case,
Look at the last sentence of the paragraph. It has a look at the intricate body paragraph.
okay. Okay. We have the body paragraphs, and this is the point of this lesson. The body consists of one or more paragraph, right? Following the introduction. So from your introduction, you're gonna again in your introduction you're gonna find a definition of what is the topic that you are gonna talk about, right? The body consists of one or more paragraph following the introduction, and each paragraph supports the main idea of your essay by breaking it down into smaller ideas or subtopics. Each body paragraph consists of a topic sentence and several supporting sentences. What is a supporting sentence? If I'm gonna say something, then I need to support that idea that I already explained, right? Exercising is the best choice to lose weight. So I have to support that main idea that I just said, okay? Each body paragraph, okay, yes, a conclusion sentence draws the paragraph together, okay? So we have in this case 3 paragraphs, body paragraph number 1. For example.
Look at the body.
Okay.
Look at the body.
What's happening? Okay. All right. So we have the topic sentence. So this is a sentence what I'm gonna develop, what I'm gonna support. The first and most important problem is metropolitan cities' inadequate public transportation system. That's your topic sentence, right? So I have to support that idea that I have in my paragraph. Whereas in a yellow with a yellow marker, it's the supporting sentence. Okay, we have more than one, so supporting sentences. Thousands of residents rely on the city's buses and streetcars to travel throughout this large city, but metro transportation system daily schedules are totally unreliable, that's true. A bus or a streetcar that should arrive at 7:45 may not arrive until 8 or later. Moreover, it is not unusual for a bus driver to pass up groups of people waiting for the bus because he wants to make up for lost time. Unfortunately, people often end up going to work late or missing important appointments. Unfortunately, yes. In order for people to get their destinations on time, people must allow for waiting time and the bus and streetcar stops. Then you have we have affectation, right? So in parentheses we have the where did I find this information, right? So it's important to do it. The concluding sentence is, in order for people to get their destinations on time, people must allow for waiting time at the bus and streetcar stops. Then we are going to find in this exercise okay, we're going to, where is it? Okay, we have thousands of residents rely on the cities, buses, and streetcars to travel throughout this large city. Okay, so here I have supporting idea. Oh, what is this? I'm gonna choose this one, this. How can I do it? Okay. Okay, so here you have your first supporting idea. Okay, it's everything until this part. Okay, so we're going to continue with the supporting idea number 2. A bus or a streetcar that should arrive at 7:45 may not arrive until 8 or later. Moreover, we have supporting idea number 3. Moreover, it is not unusual for a bus driver to pass up groups of people waiting for the bus because he wants to make up for lost time. At last, we have supporting idea number 4. Unfortunately, people often end up going to work late or missing important appointments. And there you have it. Okay, so everything is related to the topic sentence. I have a support in this part. I have 4 supporting sentences ideas. Okay, and then I'm finishing the paragraph with quotation, right? In order for people to get their destinations on time, people must allow for waiting time at the bus and the streetcar stops. And that's all, right? In each paragraph, we need to use the topic sentence. So that's gonna be your main idea, right? A paragraph has a main idea expressed in a topic sentence. There you have it, okay? This sentence may appear at the beginning, could be in the middle, or at the end of the paragraph, right? So in the preceding paragraph, the main idea is the first and most important problem is metropolitan cities' inadequate public transportation system, okay? This main idea sentence, also called topic sentence, serves several purposes, right? It has many purposes, right? Purposes. The first thing is that it introduces the main idea of the paragraph. In this case, the first and most important problem is metropolitan cities' inadequate public transportation system. Then, it limits the topic of the paragraph. In this example, the topic is limited to expenses and inconvenience of owning a car in them, right? So what else? Okay, it often suggests how the paragraph will be developed, okay? From the topic sentence, right, of the example paragraph, we assume that the paragraph will discuss the problem of the metropolitan cities, right? What is going on in the metropolitan cities and its inadequate public transportation system. Okay, so okay, in this paragraph, we have supporting sentences, right? A paragraph has main supporting ideas, okay, and everything or all relating to the topic sentence, right? The writer of the sample paragraph on this case, right? We have thousands of residents rely on the city's buses and the streetcars to travel throughout this large city, but metro transportation systems daily schedules are totally unreliable. Okay, a bus or a streetcar that should arrive at 7:45 may not arrive until 8 or later. Okay, so then you have supporting ideas. Okay. Okay, so then what else can we say? Okay, so we could give details, right? We could give some details. And for example, we have a bus or a streetcar that should arrive at 7:45 may not arrive until 8 or later. Give me a second, I'm thirsty. Okay, in this case, the supporting ideas, right, may themselves be further supported by facts, details, or statistics, okay? In a longer paragraph, for example, under the first supporting sentence, we might add statistics, okay? Telling how many metropolitan cities, right, could have this problem, okay? So if we're gonna talk about it's necessary to include a logical order, right? It's important though. The ideas in the paragraph, okay, must be presented in logical order. In the sample paragraph, the ideas are presented in order of time. For example, could have. So in this case, right, the order is like you could place it as it could have sense, right? So we have to be careful, or maybe could be for chronological or time order. Is especially important in the paragraph showing a process. Okay, so in this case, we have thousands of residents rely on the city's buses and streetcars to travel throughout this large city, but metro transportation system daily schedules are totally unreliable. Now, is this a chronological order or something like that? Not really, but we're following this order because we're giving examples. Okay, this is an example, and not really an example, but it's a fact. Okay, it's a fact. Then we have an example of also a streetcar that should arrive at 7:45. And then we have, moreover, it is not unusual for a bus driver to pass up groups of people waiting for the bus because he wants to make up for lost time. Unfortunately, people often end up flying work late or missing important appointments. So there you have like the other supporting idea, but we're finishing with a fact. Okay, because it's a fact. Not everybody arrives that were at time. Sorry, not everybody arrives at job early or on time. Okay, so we're finishing with the concluding paragraph. Okay, and let's continue.
The conclusion paragraph is the last paragraph in the essay. It completes the essay by summarizing or repeating the most important ideas. The conclusion can also include an opinion, a prediction, or a solution to a problem.
Okay, what's going on with this?
The conclusion paragraph is the last paragraph in the essay. It completes the essay by summarizing or repeating the most important ideas. The conclusion can also include an opinion, a prediction, or a solution to a problem.
Okay, the conclusion paragraph, it's the last paragraph in the essay. It completes the essay by summarizing or repeating the most important ideas. The conclusion can also include an opinion and a prediction or solution to a problem. Well, the last one, not really. If you're going to propose maybe a solution, you have to investigate for it. Okay, so with what could be my support if I could give a solution? There is no. Okay, so it could take us time. It could take us time. So we have to see, or maybe we could opt by repeating or by summarizing the most important ideas. In other cases, we have different paragraphs where you could write your own opinion. Not always, but could be, we could have that case, right? What else can we say? Okay, once we are at the end, I guess we don't need to write a whole paragraph or too many paragraphs in order to give the end of everything. No, but it's important to summarize everything. For example, something that I used to do, it was taking the topic sentences of each paragraph. So then I just used some links, some connectors, in order to have a paragraph by a conclusion. But it doesn't mean that you need to write extra information. No, we don't have to do it, right? If it's a conclusion paragraph, okay, of our essay, that's all. We don't have to add extra information, okay? We don't have to add more, or maybe you should do a paraphrases, right? Explaining again, right? But we have to avoid in the same paragraph repeat information in the same paragraph. Notice that in the same paragraph, okay? So if I already mentioned my first topic from paragraph number 2, if I'm going to rewrite it in the same paragraph, is the only thing that I'm doing is it's using the redundancy, right? So let's watch.
Look at the conclusion paragraph below. The first sentence summarizes or repeats the main ideas of the paragraph. The last sentence includes a prediction.
Okay, we're going to continue with this last part. Okay, in conclusion, we have some connectors, right? We have some links. Yeah, some connectors, right? Connector words where they're gonna help us to finish, to connect some sentences. In this sentence, right, this is a summary of main ideas. In conclusion, metropolitan city must improve, or maybe you could write the most important part of the sentence. Okay, so then you're going to have a summarize. In conclusion, metropolitan city must improve its public transit system, clear up the massive traffic jams caused by slow-moving traffic in downtown areas, and keep rentals down to affordable levels. I don't have something new. Everything that I just read, where is underlined by blue color, It's not something new. I'm not using new information, extra information. It's new statistics or something like that. No, we only are summarizing my essay, paragraph number 1, number 2, number 3, okay? And something that I would also recommend is to avoid writing too many paragraphs, right? Unless the tutor requires. Why? Because as I said yesterday, I guess it was, we need to catch the attention readers, right? The attention's reader. So if they're gonna read too many paragraphs, they're gonna get bored, right? Unless your essay is gonna be for a public in a specific, right? For example, this is gonna be an essay about scientific studies in the last year, for example. So there is a specific public thing. What else can we say? Okay, let's continue. Oh, in other words, metropolitan city must improve its management, or it will sound, well, in this case, it's unnecessary. As I told you, if you're gonna offer a solution, then you have to make a previous investigation about it. So I would recommend not to do it. Okay, as this is a simple essay, we're only gonna summarize the essay. Paragraph number 1, number 2, but important information that you consider that we need to know about one topic, okay? So with that, you are going to understand better, right? And it's going to be more affordable, right? So yes, that will be, right? Okay, let's continue.
Here's another example of an introductory paragraph. Here's another example of an introductory paragraph. Introductory paragraph.
Okay. So this is an introduction. Okay, this is another introduction of other essay. Going to a new school can be exciting, but for an international student, the years of education in a different country can be difficult and tumultuous. When I first arrived in the US, when I first arrived in the US to attend a university, I was overwhelmed and confused by everything new. In this case, this is like a short story. We also have illustration of paragraphs, right? In this case, we're using an example, okay? So when I read that, then the purpose of this is maybe the reader wants to catch attention. So this is the attention getter, and we're gonna look for the thesis statement. It's not at the beginning. The thesis statement is gonna answer your question, what is gonna be your essay be developed, right? Personally, I met 3 very special friends who made a positive impact on my life during those years and helped me survive the trials of being a foreigner in a completely different educational system. Okay, so there you have your thesis statement. In this case, we're not placing it at the beginning, it's at the end, and it's okay, there is no problem, it also goes in the middle, as I said, okay? So let's continue.
This is another example of a body paragraph.
What's going on?
This is another example of a body paragraph.
Okay, in this case, the topic sentence is at the beginning. One of the first people I met was Jofrida. So it means that the whole paragraph that I'm gonna develop is gonna be about Jofrida. I first met Joyce standing in a line at the bookstore. I was having a difficult time finding the books for the English classes. I was taking my first semester here. He not only helped me I'll find my books, but he also gave me some good advice on where to get tutorial help in campus and where I could find some good restaurants. We've become better friends since then, and he has been so helpful in answering any questions I have about going to school in the US and about American culture. As you can see, we have the supporting sentence. Why am I supporting? My topic sentence. One of the first people I met, it was Jerry Frida. Okay. Then we have the concluding sentence. If I hadn't met Joy that day, I might still be looking for the right books for my classes. Okay. So that's a fact. That's a fact. And I gave an example for that. So this paragraph is complete. Now I'm gonna look for it, okay? We have the topic sentence, the sentence that I'm gonna develop with my supporting ideas, okay? If I say yes, then I have to explain the reason of why I said yes. And then I'm gonna mention the fact of saying yes. If I hadn't met Joe that day, I might still be looking for the right books for my classes.
Here is another example of a conclusion paragraph.
And we're gonna finish with this last example. Okay, the conclusion. We're summarizing the main ideas of my whole essay. The significance of the kindness that these three people showed me and the impact that it has made on my life during my experience as an international student at the State University cannot be underestimated. Okay. In this sentence, right? Yes, it's only one. It's a summarize about my whole essay. Okay, you could take as I told you, you could take the most important information, okay, but no extra information. We don't need to add extra information because then you have to develop it, and it's a big work, right? So as it is a conclusion, right? We could finish like in a conclusion and summarize, right? To summarize up, for example. And then we have promise or resolution. This is not relevant. I would recommend not to do it, as I told you, because we are not trying to do an investigation to propose some solutions, right? So if that will be the case, yes, I'm gonna make an investigation. I'm gonna make a thesis maybe, and then, but it's not the case. You only have to use you only have to add ideas about you already written. Okay, so if the last part is unnecessary, so yes, it's I don't find it new information, right? So this is the overview of an essay. We have the introduction, general statements and information about the topic. We have the thesis statement list, the main ideas in the essay, the body paragraph, and conclusion. We have kind of paragraph though. I'm gonna bring it for tomorrow. So yes, that will be everything for today. If you have any question, just let me know to my DM. Okay,